Oh, hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas, everyone. I pray that everyone is doing well. Welcome back to another journal entry of the download Progression, Not Perfection, where I just take you all along on the journey with the Lord and I speak about whatever He tells me to speak about. And Jesus is the reason for this season. Merry Christmas again. We give thanks to the Lord. My heart is just so full of gratitude and joy. I'm just thinking about just the year as we're wrapping up and just how He's seen all of us through this year. We're still here. We have breath in our lungs, eyes to see, ears to hear. It's not an accident that we're here, that we're living. And it's just a testament to the Lord and who He is. And now He's going to do what He says He's going to do. He's consistent. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's the I am that I am. He's Jehovah Rapha. He's Jehovah Jireh. He's El Roy. He sees us. He's Emmanuel. He's God that's with us. And we just give thanks to the Lord and everything that He represents in our life. And I just have a attitude of gratitude, and I'm so excited and feeling really festive on this Christmas afternoon, about to go spend time with family. And I just wanted to get on here really quick and just talk about my last week experience. My bestie Westie hosted the most phenomenal Friendsmas. And when I tell you we had a time, I felt like I was a kid all over again. She's like the hostess with the mostest. So just everything was just really curated, really nice, from the games we played to like the music to the food, everything down to like the decor. Like, yeah, this is from the Friendsmas. So yeah, we had such a good time. And I just want to talk about like a good time and the Lord having a sense of humor and how He like kicks and giggles. Like, that is who He is. He created all of us. He created our personalities, our characteristics, and all of that resides in who He is. So like, as I was just like thinking about the party, I was like, God, like we really had a good time and it was fun. And I was just like, yeah, He was like, because I'm a good time and I'm fun. And He is. And He has a sense of humor, as we'll see in the Bible. And He's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you guys have fun? Why wouldn't you have a sense of humor? Like, why wouldn't y'all have a sense of humor? It's like we played this game. It's like word association, but with the song. So you had to, like, there was a card that came out, and then like there was a word on there, you had to quickly like start singing a song, which was really fun. There was like this plastic or like this foam microphone, and when I tell you we had a time, oh my gosh, that was so fun. And then another game was like it's this new thing I've seen on TikTok, and it's like you jar 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 har har whatever, and then you have to like say it in order, and it was really really fun. And just we just really enjoyed each other. Shout out again to Lomina. She hosted the best Friendsmas ever, and I'm just blessed to have her in my life. And we're all blessed to have her in our lives. So big ups, Lomina Balawa. We love you down. And so I just wanted to talk about the Lord having a sense of humor, kicks and giggles. He's really, really funny. And we see that throughout the Bible. But I wanted to talk about the story of Abraham and Sarah. Remember, Abraham was a lot older. Sarah were like old. I'm talking about like in their 90s. And the Lord came and was just like, yeah, you're going to get pregnant and you're going to have a son. And Sarah goes, let's get into the story. It's really good. All right, it's in Genesis. So here we are in Genesis. Genesis chapter 18, verses 9 through 15. We'll start there and then we'll just keep going. So Sarah is with Isaac, and she hears the Lord telling, I mean, not Isaac, she hears the Lord telling Abraham that she's going to have a child. And this is funny to her. So let's go. He says in verse 9, chapter 18, verse 9, then they said to him, where is Sarah, your wife? Right? These are the angels and the Lord coming to Abraham. So he said, here in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return to you according to the time of life, and behold, Sarah your wife shall have a son. Sarah was listening in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age, and Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. So she was probably like menopause age, like no more periods and all that stuff, right? Make sure this was this one. Okay. Sarah, well advanced in age, Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I have grown old, shall I have pleasure? my Lord being old also, meaning Abraham's also old. We're old. And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh? Why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I surely bear a child since I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? Do you not know who I am? Is anything what? At the appointed time, I will return to you according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. So let's fast forward to Genesis chapter 21, verses 1 through 7, when Isaac is born. Okay, so Isaac is born, and this is chapter 1, verses 1 through 7. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. Because he's going to do what he said he's going to do. Period. Like there's no way around that. That's just who he is. Right? So for Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. 100, 100, right? 10 decades. And Sarah said, God made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. She also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. Right? So God is so funny. Like even Isaac, I think it means like to laugh or laughter. And it's like, yeah, guess who's laughing now, Sarah? You laughing. And everyone else, Isaac, every time you hear the word name Isaac, you're going to laugh as well. You thought that was funny? You thought that was funny. And then it's so funny because if we go back, you could tell Sarah was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have laughed, because the Lord was like, oh, you think this is funny? And then in chapter 8, verses 15, but Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And the Lord said, no, but you did laugh. You laughed because you thought I was joking. Joke will be on you as you have your son Isaac, and his name will be Laughter. So every time you hear his name, you will laugh. Okay? So I thought that was really, really witty. And that's how the Lord is. He's so witty. Like throughout the Bible, there's just so many stories of him being witty and really, really funny. So in Numbers, I think it's Numbers chapter 22, when Prophet Balaam, something's happening with Israel. He made the donkey speak, because that's the only way he was going to get through Balaam, was having a donkey speak. And I thought that was really, really funny. Like a donkey speaking, yes, a donkey speaking, because that's the only way that Balaam was going to listen. The only way he was going to listen, right? So in Numbers chapter 22, verses 28, there's some context behind it. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey and said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have struck me 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have abused me, I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. So the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey in which you have ridden? Ever since I became yours to this day, was I ever disposed to do this to you? So the Lord, he's conversing with the donkey, Balaam, the prophet. Hello, let me get your attention. And I was like, I thought that was really witty, because that was literally the only way that Balaam would listen, is like if the Lord was like, let me make this donkey speak. Let me speak through this donkey. And the Lord is just, he's really interesting, just the way that he does things and what he puts in our purview. I think he's just really, really interesting. Like you can have thoughts in your mind, and then all of a sudden something will appear, like confirming what the Lord is trying to say. In this case, the donkey was speaking. In the case with Sarah, okay, I'll give you something to laugh at. In your old age, you will bear a child. And guess what? His name's going to be Isaac. Laughter. So every time it's just like, wow, like he has a sense of humor. He makes us smile. And then even when you think of Jesus, right, in the New Testament, I was reading a story earlier. It was in Luke. Right? And it was Luke chapter 2. Let's go over there. He's just so funny to me. And even Jesus, like some of the things that he would do, I'm like, that's not funny to y'all. Like he had this thing where he would just like disappear. So this is him. He's 12 at this point, right? He is 12 years of age. Luke chapter 2, verses 41 through 49, right? So His parents went to Jerusalem, meaning Jesus' parents. His parents went to Jerusalem every year at the Feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast. When they had finished the days as they returned, the boy Jesus lingered behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. But supposing him to have been in the company, they went a day's journey and sought him among their relatives and acquaintances. So when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. Now, so it was that after 3 days, right? 3 days, they don't know where Jesus is. They don't know where he's been. He was in the temple. So it was now after 3 days that they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and questioning and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. Obviously, this Jesus is God in flesh form, his only begotten son, right? So he's quite wise. So they're mesmerized and in awe of him. So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Look, your father and I have sought you anxiously." Like they're in fear. Like, where is this Jesus? Where are you? Like, where are you for 3 days? Imagine not being able to find your son for your child for 3 days and listen to what Jesus says to his mom, his parents. He said to them, "Why do you seek me? Like, why are you guys looking for me? Did you not know that I must be about my father's business? I'm up here trying to do what the Lord has told me to do, and you guys are looking for me." Hello, yes, we're looking for you. You're our child. You're our responsibility. And I thought that was so witty, and he was kind of snarky. And I was like, look at him being snarky and having a little tood with his parents. But they did not understand the statement which he spoke to them, right? Because obviously he's why they're forgetting. This is the Lord in human form. This is flesh. He's 12, but he's still under the parental guidance of his parents. So yes, they were worried for 3 days because they couldn't find him. And he's up here like, "Why are y'all looking for me?" And I was like, "What? Excuse me." He was like, "Did you not know that I must be doing my father's business? Did you forget what I was here to do?" But in their mind, they're just like, "No, you're a child. Like, we care. We want to know that you're okay." And this is him at only 12. So, yeah. And his response to me was kind of funny. I thought that was funny. And then there are times where he's like with his disciples and he'll like do this thing where he kind of just runs off to be with the Father. Like after he walks on water, he hops on the boat, right? And then they get to their destination. But prior to that, he just like disappeared. And they were like, "Where did he go?" And I think that's so funny to like be amongst, your friend, and then all of a sudden you disappear and you just go off. And it's just like, yeah, because I'm done with you guys. I need to go spend some time with my father. So just stuff like that is so funny to me. Like the Lord is so funny. And it's just a testament to how the Lord has created us. It's okay to have a sense of humor. It's okay to be funny and still follow the Lord. It's not this rigid, serious, like, oh no, like, no, loosen up, have a bit of fun. He created fun things. And with wisdom, right? Because sometimes it's not everything that he's calling you to do that's fun that you think is fun. But yeah, he has a sense of humor. He's funny, he's witty, he's snarky. And without him even knowing it. It was one time where I think like he was speaking to one of his disciples. I don't know if it was in Luke or Mark. I have to pull up the verse. But he was like, "All this time you've been following me." He was speaking to the disciple. He was like, "All these years you've been following me. What have you learned? Why are you asking me that question?" I'm paraphrasing it, but that's what he meant. I don't know who he was talking to, what disciple. And he was like, "All this time you've been following me, and this is the question you ask me? What have you learned?" And I was like, I thought that was so funny. Like, I thought that was a funny rebuttal. Like, oh, like, are you not listening? Do you not hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? And I just thought that was funny. And he does that a lot. But the Lord created a sense of humor. He's funny, witty, snarky, all the things. He created us with those type of characteristics as well. Because why wouldn't they be in us? He created us. He knew us before he formed us in our mother's wombs. He knows everything about us. He knows the number of hairs on our head, everything. So of course he knows your characteristic. He knows your personality, your sense of humor. He had a sense of humor. He has a sense of humor to this day because he still makes me laugh all the time. Um, and yeah, laugh, crack jokes with wisdom and with the parameters of the Lord. Like, yeah, but he's funny. And just because you're in Christ, that doesn't mean you can't have a sense of humor and be funny and goofy, because that's all a part of how he's created you. You're was it wonderfully and fearfully created, uniquely created by the Lord our Savior. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that we get to express ourselves with our sense of humor, grateful that we get to have laughter. That was all, that's him, you know. He was that, and he resides in us, so we're going to have traits of him. Well, the Holy Spirit resides in us, so we're going to have traits of the Lord. So I just pray that on this day that we understand that Jesus is the reason for this season, and that we gather, as we gather with family, friends, that we understand who he is, who he's called us to be, and that we loosen up a little bit, have some fun, because he sure enough did have a sense of humor. So until the next time we speak, God bless. Bye.